the was launched.
Good day, everyone. Welcome to another episode of AF24NEWS Talks. Today, as always, I'm joined by Dr. Olabisi Dejifolu-Tile, the director here at AF24NEWS, and Mr. Henry Okonkwo, lead correspondent here at AF24NEWS. Today, we are going to be talking about what many have deemed signs of a brewing coalition of northern leaders. In the past few weeks, we've had several northern leaders converge to have closed door meetings, and it's being speculated that it is a part of plans to create a coalition party that will unseat the ruling party come 2027. The idea is that northern leaders, especially the northern region of the country, is particularly unhappy about the leadership of President Bola Tinubu and feels like the north itself has been on the other end of like brutal policies or the effect of those policies. So we are going to be discussing first the merits of it and just general discussions about everything. So I want to start with Dr. Dejifolu-Tile. Do you think there's any credence to it, to all this, that they are actually planning something, or are we just reading too deeply into things?
Well, thanks. Let me say thank you first of all for having me this today. I think there is a credence to it because on several occasions in the past, we've had leaders from that part of the country coming out to say some things. The Northern Elders Forum has spoken about, they've complained about the problems concerning their people. And also, I think why I will also agree that it's probably true is because of the comments of the likes of Shehu Sani, a former minister. Oh, I said minister, a former senator rather. He has said two things in the last 2 weeks. The first time he spoke, he said there will be consequences if President Tinubu was not allowed to complete his term or something. And again, he also said something along that line. I can't remember the exact headline now. And the question you ask yourself is, this is a president that has barely spent 1 year in office. Why should we be talking about consequences of not allowing him to do this or that? So that's why I think there could be some credence to what we've been reading and hearing. And don't also forget the fact that for the Northerners, politics is all they understand. They are political animals, probably more political than other parts of the country. So it's not going to be surprising if they start strategizing from this time. And also, I also find particularly funny. Yes, I remember the last thing that Senator Shehu Sani said. He was commenting on the people going to visit the former president Muhammadu Buhari in Dahura after the Eid al-Fitr or after the Salah holiday. He was saying that those people were not just going to pay Salah homage, that there was an ulterior motive to their visits. And if you also notice, you will see that different kinds of people, different kinds of movements have been going on. And even unusual or unlikely people from the northern parts of the country have been working together. Recently, I think last week, I saw a video of the former governor of Kano State, Kwankwanso, with the former governor of Kaduna State, Nasiru El-Rufai. So you may not rule it out. It's not a big deal. I think it is what we hear is probably true, and even if they are true, they just prove again that human beings are political animals, even though some are more political than others. And in this particular case, the northerners being more political animals than probably the rest of Nigerians.
But I just want to go to Mr. Henry and just ask about, okay, let's say that it is real. Let's say that this is something that is actually happening and is not just being insinuated by fanciful ideas. Let's say that the northern region of the country is actually plotting how to take power back from the south. One thing I want to ask is there any validity to the claims that somehow they have been on the brunt, or do they have any reason, or should Nigerians give them any form of understanding on their position on things?
Well, for me, I think they are just like huffing and puffing all over the place, because if you look at them, if you do the political calculations and check the permutations now, it is more. I even heard they were muting that Tinubu should get ready to be a one-term president, that he will be voted out. And if you look the way this country, or if you look back, I don't think that we are politically matured, and not Tinubu with his political acumen and his I don't think is happening to him. He will finish his first term, and with the way it is, I see him still winning a second term. Because the North, they can't do it all alone. They can't do it alone. If you check, if you use the case studies of Buhari, when he tried to use his CPC to galvanize the North, hoping that he failed. The North still needs the South to harvest some votes to get into power. And I don't see them. I don't see where they will be, where they will strike that alliance. I don't think so. I don't think they can do it. Okay, even if they are able to front a southerner. Okay, let us get a southerner there to compete against Tinubu. They will also be shooting themselves in the foot, because going with Tinubu to go second term, they will be 4 years. After 4 years, it will be our turn. But fronting a southerner now to upstage Tinubu, maybe, okay, this southerner, if he comes in now, he may want to do 8 years. So if you check it, they are clearly at the short end of the stick. The odd doesn't favor them in any way. If they could, for me, I think at a point they will be our best bet is to let's just wait for this man. Let's just wait for him. Let him do his 8 years, so that it will come to us after 4 years, instead of getting a southerner that will go there and may likely want to do 8 years again. So for me, I don't take all these meetings serious. Honestly, that's my own view. I don't take it serious. This is what they have always known. They want to move around, sniff around, see how they can show their real political relevance, maybe to shake whoever that is there and everything. That's my view, but I don't think they should be taken seriously.
And I also think the North, even outside of the political class, have actually really been hit hard by the general hardship, in the country. When we talk about how just in February we had northern traditional rulers saying, "Look, we can't even hold. We don't know how long we can continue to dissuade our citizens from, from things escalating because of hunger in the land and insecurity and those problems as well." And we had the northern elders even come out recently to say, you know what, we regret supporting Tinubu and we will be smarter about that decision in the future. So me, I want to ask you, Dr. Dishful, what do you think about the idea that, oh, this government has been particularly harsh on the north, and this maybe scapegoatism of this government in the affairs of the problems that are going on in the north?
That is quite interesting, really, because whatever we are feeling in Nigeria now is not regional. It's not. It's the harsh economic situation is affecting everyone, and I've not seen any particular policy that is targeted against northerners, for example.
Maybe examples of like moving. Um, I think there was a time they were moving some CBN offices down to Lagos, things like that.
Okay, so if they move offices, are they moving the north? Is CBN the north or is not CBN? Is CBN not a central bank of Nigeria? We are what is the north business about CBN? It's just a government agency, except if what they are telling us is that they have converted that office to a northern office. Otherwise, what is the big deal in moving an office? So that there is no policy that is directly targeted against them. And I also do not think it will be charitable for anyone to think that the northerners are particularly more hungry than the rest of Nigerians. Whatever is happening to Nigeria now is happening to everyone. And I use that word cautiously. When I say everyone, I'm saying that for the poor are suffering. Even though the so-called rich are crying, because we know that things have gone up beyond Nigerians' purchasing power. But probably what is happening in the north situation could be worse than other parts of the country because of their own peculiar situation. We know that indices of poverty rest more in the northern parts of the country than the southern parts, which is no fault of anyone. That will boil down to the fault of leadership, because the northern states are controlled by northern governors. And even if we want to look at things from a general perspective, more northerners have been heads of governments at the federal level in Nigeria than any other person from other parts of the country. So if over the years, when northerners were even heads of government or presidents, and the poverty level has failed to come down, then that is not the problem of the current president. That should be the northerners should be asking themselves questions. I saw one Twitter post, I think yesterday, of a northerner, a young lady. She was speaking Hausa, mixing it with English, but mostly English. That the northerners should talk to themselves. They should ask themselves questions, and that they should also take decisions when it comes to political positions based on specific issues that have to do with their growth and development. That they should look at things from another perspective and stop being deceived to believe that there is something called kadara. Kadara is like some people are born to be rich, some born to be poor. The poor are supposed to eat under the rich, and the rich can also dominate the poor. It's a common thing among the people in that part of the country, and it's one of the things that is encouraging poverty. Those are the issues they should look at. Besides, for crying out loud, the former President Buhari was in government for 8 good years in this country. He handed over to President Tinubu, one from APC to APC. Throughout the time, and we know that the problems we are seeing now, they didn't just occur today. They were it's like something growing, and we are now seeing the full growth. So what we are seeing now, there are also repercussions of actions or inactions of the former president. So what are we talking about? You see, my own point is that when we look at politics from all this regional perspective, it's like we are not ready to grow in this country. So when President Buhari was there, how many times did the Northern Elders Forum come out to condemn what President Buhari was doing? How many times did they come out to say that the Northerners were hungry? How many times did they put focus on the north, or telling us that they will not revote President Buhari? So we don't need all of these things, because the more we talk about things that divide us, the more we give our leaders the opportunities to continue to oppress us. I think all Nigerians should be talking about good governance. This president is just 1 year in office. You are already thinking about 2027. You are already thinking about 2030 something. What is the meaning of that? What are we talking about? Is that growth? Is that development? Is that the way that the people of Nigeria, whether from the north, from the south, from the east, is that the way that we will enjoy the dividend of democracy that we are supposed to be enjoying? I'm thinking that we should speak more with a voice at a time like this, and that voice should be clamoring for good governance. Good governance, good governance, before we start thinking about, because we've tried the people from everywhere. Probably the people we've not tried yet are the ones from the east as president of Nigeria. But from the southwest, from the north, they have all done it, and we are still where we are. Even the east, the southeast that we are saying we have not tried, they've been vice presidents. They've occupied their key positions in the federal government. So it's not about an individual. That's the point I'm trying to make. And I don't also think that we should think that the north is being singled out for any form of punishment by the current administration.
Well, we've heard a lot of interesting thoughts about what's going on right now with northern leaders, reaching out to each other, and nobody knows what they are talking about really, but we're just speculating and talking about the validity of the claims that we've heard. Tell us what you think about everything you've heard in the comment section. What you think about how true or how false, or just any general thoughts you have on the direction of governance or leadership in Nigeria. And don't forget to join us again, same channel every week. We have AF24 News Talks. You can check us out on social media, across all our social media platforms, and on our website at www.af24news.com. Thank you and have a wonderful day.